Welcome, aspiring FinOps professionals. Are you ready to take your career to new heights? In this video, we'll dive deep into the world of FinOps Certified Practitioner exam, sharing invaluable tips and tricks to help you pass with flying colors. Whether you're beginning, looking to kickstart your journey, or a seasoned pro aiming to upskill, this video is your ultimate guide to success. What we're going to look at today is we're going to do a final view over the curriculum. I'll go into the exam itself, how it runs, and then what route should one take. You can spend anything from $300 to $1,500, and I'll help kind of navigate through the options there. So first up, we have the curriculum last looks. So the last couple of weeks, I've been going through the majority of the information that's contained in our listing here. Today, I'm going to close off on the last three that haven't been covered already. The first is around motivations and common language. So a lot of this ties in with stuff we've covered before. It talks about personas, because every persona has a different motivation. The common language is also stuff that we've covered on by pretty much the entire material. So you're talking about your crawl, walk, run, you're talking about unit economics, coverage, utilization. So a lot of the common language is kind of baked in to the other elements that we have covered throughout the last number of weeks. What we have then is the anatomy of a cloud bill. So a cloud bill is like your mobile phone bill. You'll get the bill every month. It'll have whether you're pay as you go, what different rates you had for international calls, domestic calls. This is kind of old school now. Who gets a paper bill anymore? But it kind of dives into those elements. The different components will be your compute, your storage, your networking, and all your ancillary services. So all of that will be broken down. It'll also talk about different tags and cost allocation pieces. So you might see different linked accounts within your AWS account, for example, and the different portions of that spend. So the anatomy of a cloud bill is all covering that. There's not a lot on this on the website. The book, however, does have a chapter that goes into this in more depth, but it's not rocket science. It's nothing crazy. Then we have Focus. So Focus is a relatively recent FinOps initiative. So it started maybe 12 months ago, max. And stands for FinOps Open Cost and Usage Specification. So don't know what in the name of God is that. That is, we've spoken previously around multi-cloud. So that's where you might have AWS, GCP, and Azure. So each one of these clouds call each one of their many services, even though they might be the same service, they call them something entirely different. So compute is called EC2 in AWS. It's called virtual machine in GCP, and I think Azure call it VM. So the same thing, the specifications might be slightly different, but it's called entirely different things. It'll have different specifications. So when you're trying to map these three different data sets, if you're multi-cloud, to one another, it's exceptionally difficult. So what the FinOps Foundation is aiming to do is to bridge that gap and have a common lexicon and mapping structure across them so that you can compare and consolidate your multiple cloud bills more more systematically. There is some really good information on the website for this, so I'll link to that in the notes as well, where you can get more detail on that. So that piece wasn't on the exam when I did it, so I'm not sure what those questions would look like, but if there's a lot of detail on the site, and that should more than enough get you over the line for what you need. So the exam itself, it is 1 hour long and it's not proctored. So what that means is for some of these certifications, you dial in and someone is on the line to make sure that you're not like opening a book or there's not someone else in the room giving you the answer. But for the FinOps practitioner, it's just you get your window to log in, your 1 hour to answer your questions. There are 50 multiple choice questions. There's no negative marking. So you won't get, if you get one wrong, you won't get penalized for it. So if you don't know the answer, put something down. It's if you don't buy a ticket, you can't win the lotto. So it's worth checking out. The passing grade is 75%. So you need to get 38 out of your 50. Press some maths there to pass the exam. which is well within the realms of possibility, given the information that's available for free. And also an important point to note is you get 3 attempts included in the price. So that will kind of tie into my next slide where I talk about the approach that I would take if I had my time over, if I was coming to this new. Your package options. So there's a lot of training material and information available around it. What I would recommend as paramount is the website itself, the FinOps Foundation, the framework section. It would be in all the previous episodes. I've linked to all the different sections that I've covered. The information here is really good. It's really robust, and it goes to a level of detail that's even beyond what you need for the exam. But that will give you a level of context to help you answer confidently when the exam does come around. Next up is the FinOps exam itself. It's 300 bucks. I do have an asterisk here, which I will talk about, but the 300 bucks gets you 3 shots at the exam. Also, if you sign up for the exam, you have 12 months to complete it. So you don't have to, there's no time pressure. Like if you don't get to it immediately, there's no wasted money. But I would advise having some of the information done before, and that you're somewhere ready to do it before you do sign up. In terms of additional resources, so if the website doesn't give you quite enough, and as I mentioned, there's stuff like the cloud anatomy of a cloud bill isn't covered massively in the website. The Cloud FinOps book has a chapter on that, and it covers pretty much everything in the curriculum in more detail. So if you wanted to have that extra level of understanding, that security blanket, it's maybe a shrewd investment to get the FinOps book. Hands up, I haven't read it myself, but if someone isn't doing FinOps, entirely new to the area, you could do worse than spending 55 bucks on a book. Another option, if you really want to do belt and braces, like I said, between the website and the book, you'll have loads. But if you want that extra bit of comfort, there is the Canadian Cloud Institute have a website and a exam with some knowledge checkers in it. I've done the test. I've also given some feedback to improve the test. It's 195 bucks, but with this handy dandy code here, you get 50% off, so it's $97.50. Like say, belt and braces, if you really want to be like, I'm so prepped for this exam, I could nearly give the course. This would be the next level that you could go for, and I'll put a link to where you find this course in the description also. Next up, you have the FinOps Foundation's own course. They have a certified practitioner course, self-paced, so you get the material and you work through it. You get access to that for 12 months. It's 600 bucks, practically 600 bucks, but your exam is included. So effectively, the course costs you $299. Then if you really want to go all in, you can do a virtual instructor-led course. So this is a couple of days where you go through the material in a virtual classroom setting. So it's $1,500. Taking the exam out of it, the course is effectively 1,200 is an option. The reason I have the asterisk beside this certified practitioner and the exam is the FinOps Foundation. It's quite a good initiative. They offer a scholarship program. So if you're really keen to get into FinOps, but your company won't fund you, or you don't have the ability to pay for it yourself, there is an option to apply for this scholarship program, and you could get sponsored to do that, get access to this course and this exam for free. I haven't gone through the process. I don't know what it fully involves, but anyone that does go through it, comment below and let me know on how you get on. But it is a great resource. It's there. If I had my time over again, if I was doing this fresh, what I would do is I would study the material on the website, make my summary notes so I know what I'm talking about for the different areas, map to the curriculum, and I'd sign up for the exam and I do one attempt and I see how I get on. I would think with the information from the website, you should be 80, 90% there. If after one attempt, you'll have a really good steer on whether you're way off or whether you just need a small little tweaks of information, and you can make those adjustments accordingly. So really, to get certified, it should only cost you 300 bucks, the amount you pay for the exam. I would think. So passing the exam itself, the recap. So today we covered the last little pieces that I hadn't covered initially. Also, I went through the various options of how you would approach the information for the course and what the actual exam entails itself. Next up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about what would you do after you're certified. So you've got your certification, but you want a job in FinOps. So what are the next steps you would take? So I'm going to cover that on the episode next week. So like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Tell a friend, and I'll chat to you all soon. Take care.